This week, a Central New York legend, Bob Congel, passed away this week. He died at the age of 5, a very controversial figure in Central New York, but most notably, he'll be known for creating the Destiny USA, formerly Carousel Mall, and millions of other dollars of development here in Central New York. Well, I did have a chance to talk to Bob Congel, one of the few conversations that he gave in his lifetime. He was very, very private and let others speak for him. But we had a chance to ask him specifically about leadership during difficult times. My conversation with Pyramid CEO, the late Bob Congel. The question is, what is your personal positive script that you use to maintain and achieve your goals and aspirations during these times, or what some describe as trying times? What do you tell yourself?
Well, first of all, I've never known bad times or trying times. I think there's always opportunity, always. And sometimes trying times create much more of an opportunity than the supposedly easy times.
So is it, go ahead. I was going to say, so is it that belief then that always positions you to do what you think is right no matter what's going on? In other words, are you telling us that you have to see opportunity no matter what's happening around you?
Well, yes, but we have to abide by all regulations, laws, everything. We have to work in between that. But Syracuse is my home. It's where my immigrant grandparents came from, and right in this area, within just a few blocks away, is where they landed and made a life for themselves. Very, very poor. And, I grew up in a home where father didn't have a job for 5 years, from 35 to 40 when I was born. And I think things like that never leave you. And you always want to achieve. It's so important to achieve. And I had a guidance of a little Italian grandfather who could not believe there was anything like America. He pounded it into me. He says, "Bubby, you know this a country." He says, "So great. You have an idea? Someone give you money." He talked with that accent. And he became a very, very wealthy man in this country. And I really watched him, and I admired him.
What did you watch him do?
I watched his thought process. He couldn't read or write. He spoke broken English, and he talked about America all the time. That's all he talked about. This country, my God. He ended up a multimillionaire. And it shows what you can do with nothing. You can start with nothing. And I always wanted to be a contractor because my father was really a laborer. My grandfather was a small contractor, so I was around that a lot. And I became a contractor when I graduated from college. I was very, very, very successful. Why I left it is when you finish a job, it's over with. Yeah, I wanted something that was going to stay. So I did get into the real estate business at that time. Doing a lot of things, building lots of warehouses and whatever I could build and keep, because that was my goal. If I could build and keep it, my family would always be okay.
People want to know, though, people are very curious about Bob Congel in that there's got to be something that you tell yourself about how to approach everyday living to get the best out of the day, to seize the opportunities, to the carpe diem, if you will. What do you tell yourself every day that prepares you for the day ahead so that you see what you say there is always opportunity? Do you get up and say, "Bob, you got to do this"? Or, I mean, do you ever, there's regrets and mistakes. What do you tell yourself? What does Bob say to Bob?
Bob wakes up every day as an entrepreneur. That's what I love to do. That's what I do. It's fun to create things out of nothing. And it's what I did all my life. As a contractor, I was a contractor that really had no competition, only because of the desire and the culture that we worked with. To me, success in business is culture. If you have the right culture, you have the right business culture, you're miles and miles ahead of everyone else. If you don't have a strong culture that people react to, it's tough. And by the way, it hasn't been one rosy road to keep that together. At times, people don't like a culture because it inhibits them. But if you're going to run an organization, it doesn't have to be like the military, and it can be a lot of fun and creates a lot of great success. If you don't have that culture, it's a lot of work. It becomes very difficult.
So we went to secret now. What's the secret culture? And give it up.
A culture is when a decision is made. People don't walk out the door and say, I disagree. It's as simple as that. Because if they do, it doesn't work.
So what about dissent? I mean, is that how it works, where everything goes on the table, but then we decide, and we've decided as a group, and you take responsibility for your decision, you have to own it? Because obviously when you're talking about a culture, that means that everyone must share that same sort of entrepreneurial, create something out of nothing mentality for things to work in the way that they have to get what you need.
Well, you have to move over to passion. Because if you have the passion and you have culture, you're 99% there. Because it'll drive you to that. Everybody has a brain. So that's a basic thing that you need. But if you have a strong culture, it makes life so easy.
Are you smarter than everybody else? What are you more than everybody else you think that keeps you at the top of your game?
Well, it's interesting right now. I have a son who runs the company here, and I have a lot of leisure time. So it allows you to really think a lot. And we're here every morning at 6 o'clock, and we sit at that table for a couple hours and really just throw things around and move us down the road. And, it's a pleasure for me to see how this project is going together. And, of course, it took a long time. We've been through a lot of administrations. We've been through, a lot of economic down periods. And that's when you find out what you're all about.
This project meaning?
What do they call it again?
You tell me.
Destiny USA. You got it.
We're talking about Destiny USA, which is in Syracuse, New York. Formerly, you're going to make an announcement. I read something about that name may change. Where did I read that?
I didn't read it.
Okay. Not that the Destiny may change, but the name of the mall from Carousel may change.
Yeah. It's going to be one name for both parts.
Period, said and done.
That's right.
All right. And what's that name going to be?
Dave?
Destiny USA.
Yeah.
So it is going to become period Destiny USA. Right. Strip all the branding of Carousel and create that new brand, and that's what it's going to be.
Yes.
So with that, culture. So here's what I heard you say: culture, passion, entrepreneurship, creating from nothing, having fun with it. Passion. I think we said passion once. When I hear the word passion, I think that of all the words, that in order to create something, in order to build something, you have to get people on your team, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And how do you do that?
I want to tell you that I'm here because I wanted to chat with you, but I'm at the bottom of the barrel today in executive. My youngest son runs the company, and now it's up to him to develop his culture, how he wants to do it, and the people that he gathers around him. And, this is a most amazingly harmonious office building. It awes me. And it's huge. I mean, we have a lot of people here. And he's done a great job with that. And I get my enjoyment now out of seeing what's happening here I really come here for 2 hours every morning from 6 to 8. And if I want to leave for the rest of the day, I have that privilege now, George, which is really a nice thing. I have a 10 of a wife, and she's building a new home for us. And I go up. I have the privilege to go up and watch. It's an exciting time. It really is.
You, how proud of you, or how much pride do you have that you were able to build something and then that legacy continues within your own family?
Well, there's nothing better. There is nothing better. And he's our youngest son. And I think he's doing a sensational job. Both myself and his mother are very proud of him.
A lot of people, I'm not, it's funny because when I came over here, so much stuff, controversial and all of that. My point was to get behind some of that, to say, how does that affect you? All the, Bob is this, the evil empire. I couldn't leave without saying that. What do you think about how you're viewed? Because you have to be tough enough, right? You have to have enough, no matter what is said, no matter what is written, I still believe in this thing. And no matter what people say, I'm going to get this done. That some people describe that as passion driven. Other people say, wow, that's ruthless. How do you describe it?
A little of both. Look, you have to be tough. If you're a puff, where are you going to go? So, we have to do what we have to do, and that's what we do.
You're in it to win.
We are in it to win. And Syracuse is a lot different. Mm-hmm. It's where we live. And I've always had an easy time monetizing, easy time, raising money. I never had a money problem that was serious. Yeah, but times when things crashed, of course, you had some hard work, but it made you better. Every time there was a downturn, you came out better. Mm-hmm. So, I just think that you have to have pride. If you don't have pride, George, you have nothing. And when you have pride, it drives you. It does not allow you to be a slunk.
Your advice, Bob Congel's advice, if someone wanted to create something out of nothing in their own sphere of influence, you would say, you need to do these 3 things every single day. And if you do these 3 things every single day, your chances to succeed in that thing increase exponentially if you commit yourself to what?
Culture, and culture. If you have culture, you have it. You have it all. It makes life so easy.
Culture meaning this is the way we do things.
Yeah, it's in harmony. Everyone works together. When a decision is made, someone doesn't walk out the door and say, I don't agree with that, because that kills an organization. And I've lived through some of those. And it's not easy to fix. But if you don't fix it, you're going to go down.
The late Bob Congel, Pyramid Company's CEO, who passed away at the age of 85, telling us what his personal positive script that he uses to achieve and maintain his goals and objectives during these times, or what some might say is trying times. No matter what you think about Bob, he certainly has had an impact, an unmistakable impact and imprint on the Syracuse community. Our condolences to his wife and, of course, his children, his grandchildren, and his family.